Aloha! Welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm called Shell. Today is the 28th of January 2025. And today, it's kind of a funny intention for sharing today because, ultimately, I'm sharing for the greatest good of all life, but I'm kind of also sharing today as a way to timestamp for myself something that I've been wanting to record and I haven't made time to, and it's getting further away from me. You know those feelings? Like I've got so many other things going on that I haven't created the time to write about this or record it, and so here it is now, and I'm sharing it with all of you. I hope you enjoy. So what I wanted to share was about an experience that I had, and it was a recent Friday afternoon, early evening, and my beloved partner came home and said, "Hey, we just got invited to a party. Do you want to go? It's going on now." I'm like, okay. And he tells me where it's at, and it's at one of the small wine shops in town, winery whorehouses, or and so normally I'd be like, probably not. And anyway, I was like, he told me where it was, and I was an immediate yes. I just knew that I was a yes. And so I hop in the shower, I get dressed, and we go. And how it happened was he was driving through town in his work truck, and there was an Indian food truck, and we've both been wanting some ethnic food to come into this area for a long time. We just don't have it here where we're at in the foothills. And so he stopped in the middle of the road in his truck and was talking out of his window and saying "Hey, what's going on? Where are you guys from?" And then the gentleman who was hosting the party came out and said, "You're welcome to come, join us." And so he came home and got me, and we went. And earlier that day, it was so funny. I just had this random thought. I thought it was random. I had this thought the next time somebody asks me what I do, I'm just going to tell them I plant seeds, I grow love, I spread kindness. And it was kind of a funny thing. I was just laughing about to myself. Okay, that's kind of goofy. But okay, I'm gonna do it, why not? And so anyway, the gentleman who was hosting the party comes over after I've been there a little while and introduces himself, and I get to meet him, and sure enough, he asks me, "So what do you do?" And I looked at him, and I smiled, and I said exactly that. I plant seeds, I grow love, I spread kindness. And he said to me, "You're special." And so I said, "You're special." And he was like, "Yes, yes, and you're special." And this amazing man, who I found out, he ends up sharing the story with us. It was wow. It was, what a meeting. It was his going away party. Him and his wife had come to this area in retirement 5 years ago. And his wife has been recently diagnosed with a condition that's progressing very quickly. And she's treated in San Francisco, which is too far to continue to make the trip back and forth here. So they sold their home here, and they're moving back to the Bay Area. And in the 5 years they were here, they had together, touched so many lives, that there were like 4 different groups of his friends there. There was like a group that they meet every Thursday morning at a bakery to talk about all sorts of cool life stuff. And he's a physicist, and so then he had his like science friends, and then he had his pickleball community and his wine club community. And wow, it was so incredible because I met so many different people who had all been so greatly touched by, I'll say his name. His name was Sunil. And Sunil had touched so many people in his 5 years here and built community with so many people, so many different people. I really got to experience, because we stayed for the fireside toasts, and I got to hear people share their stories, and oh, it was so amazing. And one of the connections I made was with a man, Bobby Joe, who's 82 years old and published a book. It's coming out next month, and it's called We equals MC squared. Really inspired by Einstein. And he's 82 years old. He was one of the musicians performing that night, and he appeared to be like 20 years younger than he is. He was this light being. And we stood by the fire talking for hours, just like, eye to eye, having these amazing contacts. And he was like, we're kin. And it was one of those amazing experiences because, when light beings get together, magic happens. And there was so much magic happening. And it was fun and funny. Like, there was a point in time where he was telling Sunil, like, look, I've got, you're leaving, but I also have 2 new friends here now. And Sunil was like, are you kidding? It would take 10 to make one of me. And oh, it was just, okay, I'll give you some attention. It was just so much fun, and really one of those like, thank you for following your heart and, being heart guided into an experience. And yeah, it's those experiences where I'm fully heart led, like speaking from my heart, sharing from my heart, that I have the most magical experiences and interactions with others. And so, yeah, I wanted to share that because so much of what's being shared by me and others in the circles I'm in right now relates to like grief and sadness, and I want to have and share space for it all. Like, it's okay. It's okay to be in my wintering, in my grief, in my letting go, in all of this deep inner journey, and also in the joy and in the magic. It's all connected. It's not separate. Lastly, before I'll go, so this month in January, I did Creative Wonderment a little different. Instead of getting together and doing art together, I invited people to come into the circle and share accomplishment. Like to really share something that they feel proud that they've accomplished, and then to be witnessed like in a self-hug and in a self-pat on the back, and for us to really honor one another by witnessing and seeing each other in our own praise and recognition. And it was really beautiful. I mean, there were only 3 of us, and it was so perfect, exactly as it was. So perfect. And after that, one of the women in the call contacted me and said, I really think that you should start a women's circle. And then yesterday on my hike here out in nature, I was connecting with the ancestors of the land. We've just moved here, a month ago, and so I'm still getting to know the original peoples of this land and the ancestors of this land and all of the life here, and asking how to be a steward in the highest alignment with, the devas here and the ancestors here, how to show up and serve for the greatest good of all life. And what was shared with me from the land here was a suggestion to hold a grief circle, a grief ceremony. So next month in February, being the last full month of winter before the spring starts in March, the invitation was to hold a grief circle to help people to release, let go, and grieve before moving into spring, where they will plant seeds for what they then want to grow. So I'm playing with that, staying open with how that might go, and just putting it out there now in case you might have an interest in participating. And yeah, so I want to open the invitation for those that feel called to come together and collectively grieve in a circle in the final month of this winter season before moving into spring, really honoring this last bit of winter as a time to lay to rest or to bury or to burn that which is complete with us and ready to be released and offered back, given back to the earth, given back to create space for what's to come next. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you for witnessing me. I'm grateful for the community that is you and me, all of us here in unity. So much love to you, and see you again soon. Ciao for now.